Hello, Aries. This is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with a reading on a potential reconciliation for you and your person. Or is it really time to release them, let them go from your life? So let's go ahead and take a look at that here today. General, as always, guys. So these are the three decks we'll be using. The first is by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot, the Sacred Karmic Shadow Work Oracle. This one's by Fire Witch Tarot, Divine Masculine Within My Head deck, and by Bridget of Divine Essentials, Divine Feminine Confessions. All right, Aries, so let's begin and see if there is a reunion that is possible for you and this person. So of course, this reading, just like the Will My Ex Return reading, is for those who are interested in that, a reunion or reconciliation. So let's grab a card from here. Let's take a look and see what possible shadows could be presenting a challenge in the relationship. I'm guided to this one. We have superstitious. Okay, so maybe either yourself or your person, Aries, could be superstitious, and that could be posing to be a problem somehow. You know, maybe they've got their own little interpretations and way of thinking about a particular thing in the relationship, and that could be a challenge for some of you. All right, let's go ahead and grab a card for the masculine. And this particular card, it also says spells and incantations. So some of you guys who practice that sort of thing, you know, especially if you are superstitious with whatever it is that you're going through in the relationship, if that's something that you feel would be beneficial, then maybe that's why it's presenting itself here also. So let's take a look and see where the masculine is at. I'm guided to this card. Nobody can replace the chemistry we share. Okay, so that's actually a really nice message presenting itself from the Divine Masculine. But if some of you are feeling superstitious, maybe there is somebody who tried to either replace you, or it could be the other way around. There could be third-party elements to this connection. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's for sure a third-party situation. It simply means that there might be someone else who's either interested in you, Aries, or the other person here. And that doesn't necessarily equate to anyone doing anything about it. It just is letting us know that there could be the possibility that someone's trying to allow themselves to be a part of this equation. All right, so let's grab a card. I'm guided to this one. I feel physically uncomfortable when I know you're not okay. So this is the feminine saying this to the masculine. And there's a reason for that, why you do feel, Divine Feminine, that your masculine is not okay in their life. They're not doing well for some reason. Whether that's a physical ailment that they're going through, whether it's emotional or mental, however way that interpretation is coming through for you when it comes to the Divine Masculine. And it could be as well, you know, if, for example, if there was a third-party situation here for some of you guys, it could have been distance and separation that really kind of forced this masculine to see things in a very different light, and why they're now feeling nobody can replace the chemistry that the two of you share. Maybe they tried to replicate that with someone else and it just wasn't happening. And they created this very uncomfortable situation between the two of you. It could also be very awkward when you run into each other, or when you guys have those conversations. It's just, there's been a shift in the energy and you're not able to talk to each other the way you used to when things were good. So let's grab some additional cards from the Silhouettes deck here. Angels and Spirit Guides, please, for Aries. All right. So what else do we need to know here? Reconciliation or release? Well, there are obstacles, which I'm not surprised to see. But this card does say we're bound to run into people, things, and circumstances that will get in the way and create challenges for us, you see? As long as we tackle it together, we can handle anything. Yeah. So even if, for example, someone is interested in your person, Aries, and your person's not entertaining that connection, that's still a third person trying to butt into your relationship. Stepping stones. Learn from your past mistakes to avoid life's pitfalls and thunderstorms. Until you do, tread lightly. The wrong step might land you in deep water. So what I kind of get here, possibly for the masculine, that they could have gotten themselves entangled in situations that were uncomfortable, possibly infidelities, third-party situations, as I've mentioned. That could represent the pitfalls and thunderstorms that they've had to deal with in their own life. And so maybe it's taken time for them to learn those lessons, and they don't want to be in hot water. You know, they don't want to get themselves into that same situation here, which makes sense to me why this is here. We've got that toxic card, know when to walk away. So I have a feeling, even if this was an issue in the partnership, Aries, that whoever got themselves into this toxic connection walked away from it. Either they walked away or you walked away from a toxic situation and learned whatever those lessons were. Because what that taught you is what to avoid, what not to put up with in your life, in your relationships, with people that don't have the best of intentions. Okay, so let's add to that. I'm going to pull from this deck. This is the Truths deck, the Reconciliation Edition by Pretty Spirits. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aries. What else do we need to know here? What additional insight needs to come through? I keep hearing that Stevie Wonder song, very superstitious. We have a yes answer here. And then this card says, think about it. So this could be answering the ultimate question, reconciliation or release. Yes, there's a potential for a reconciliation. And maybe right now you're unsure whether you want to say yes. You know, if you relate to this, you need more time to think, and you got to honor that. Take as much time as you feel comfortable with, you know. But I'm also feeling, Divine Feminine, that you feel your masculine's energies. You feel their presence, even though you guys are at a distance from one another. And knowing that they're not okay, it's affecting you physically, even from a distance. It's affecting your energies. Some of you guys could be dealing with a narcissistic person. Okay? But there is this need to voice your concerns and to speak up. There is this need for you guys to talk. So it's coming through as a minor setback right here. Look at this next card. Separation needed. Okay, so right now, this separation between you and this individual, Aries, it's much needed. Because some of you guys still need more time to think and to maybe go into hermit mode and to really think about things and how this all affects your relationship and where you're at in your heart. So use this time wisely to really focus on the lesson that needs to be learned here. And this is interesting. This is the next card. Learn through this. Exactly. A lesson that needs to be learned in the meantime during this separation. It's coming through, as it says, as a minor setback. And again, even though there are obstacles presenting itself here, as this card says, as long as we tackle it together, we can handle anything. And it's true. As long as you guys work together, teamwork, collaboration, you guys can overcome these obstacles, whatever that represents. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull from my newest deck. This is my Tabby Tarot Teacher, so it's very similar to my original Tabby, or the original Tarot Teacher, as well as the Modern Day Seers card. That is actually my Tabby on the cover. She ended up getting super sick earlier this year, and we ended up losing her after 12 years. So it was very difficult for our family, and we miss her so much. But this deck is dedicated to her. Her name was Jingles, and so a portion of the proceeds from the sale of this deck will be donated to various animal charities. So if this is something that you are interested in supporting at this time, it's much appreciated, and that information to do so is through my deck shop link down below. All right, guys, so let's add to this and see what else you need to be aware of. We do have a reversed card here, which is the Knight of Cups. Some of you could be dealing with a water sign here, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay, so this is someone who could have been a liar. They could have been the very jealous type. This can, for some of you, represent deception and an unfaithful lover, heartbreak. Okay, so that, I feel, is what the obstacle represents, and the setback here. So I feel it truly that the masculine ended up hurting the feminine. They were deceptive because of a potential third-party situation here. Look at this. They were entertaining other options. Too many choices. Fantasizing about someone else. And even though that happened, we now have a masculine recognizing the chemistry with the feminine, that nobody can replace the feminine. But the thing is, according to what's presenting itself here, we have a masculine who tried to replace the feminine and failed. We've got lots of water coming through here. We've got Pisces coming through now. Because so far, every single one of these cards representing water energy. And that's really interesting, Aries, considering this message. You know, the wrong step might land you in deep water. Maybe that's why it's presenting itself in that way also. The Hangman, the need to really see things from a new perspective. Be able to understand each other better. But there's also this need to let things go in the meantime. Which is why the separation needs to continue to be in place at this time, because maybe it's just not the right time for you guys to come together. I feel eventually there's a really good chance that it can happen. You guys can find your way back. Look at this. Here's our teamwork right here. The collaboration card with that Three of Pentacles. Some of you guys could be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So if they want to be able to build something more solid with you, Aries, then they're going to have to put in equal effort here. Work as hard as you're willing to work in this relationship. Because clearly you guys had a very painful ending in the partnership. You had a Tower moment. We've got more Pisces coming through here with that moon energy. So definitely deception, secrets, third parties, affairs, that's coming through. That's where this toxicity is coming forward. And, you know, maybe that's the situation that you walked away from, Aries. So with the Ten of Wands, maybe you're just really stressed out right now. You've been carrying this for a very long time, you know. That's your own fire energy right there with those wands. You're overloaded, you're burnt out. You might have been dealing with a partner that didn't appreciate you, didn't cherish you, didn't love you right. They took you for granted. But in order to move forward from this, you know, these are heavy burdens that you've been carrying. And it's time to lay it down, you know. So eventually what's coming through here is, even though you're in separation, you will continue to be in separation for a little bit. There's also the potential that you guys can heal from this and find your way back to each other, is what I'm getting from that. Okay, so let's add to this, Aries. Because from the masculine, clearly, nobody can replace the chemistry we share. I wanted to go ahead and grab some insight from the Slow and Sexy Sensual Love Favors deck. This is by Angelic Revelation 144. So let's go ahead and see what their fantasies are when it comes to you, or what your fantasies are about them too, okay? I want to press my body against you and hold you tight. Let's talk, or let's take a sensual bubble bath or shower together. That could be something that you both enjoy doing and just being together, spending time in that way. So those intimate moments, they want more of that with you. I want you to tell me all of your wildest fantasies. And lastly, I want to run my fingers through your hair and pull it gently. Okay, so all of these things could have been how things were between the two of you, not just the overall chemistry, but the sexual chemistry as well. That's still presenting itself here. All right, wow. All right, so let's wrap it up here, Aries, with one final message. I'm going to go ahead and pull a song from my Heart Songs of the 90s deck, maybe one or two songs. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aries. What else do we need to know? If you're not familiar with the song, see if you resonate with the lyrics. Hey lover, LL Cool J, this makes so much sense. Swimming in the timeless currents of pure bliss. Swimming, water, there's that reference again. Fantasies, interchanging with each kiss. We already have fantasies reflected right there. Undying passion unites our souls. Together we swim until the point of no control. But it's a fantasy. For now, it is a fantasy because you guys are not together. So I'm going to keep all these feelings inside, keep my dreams alive until the right time. You see? So again, we go back to this. Separation is needed in the meantime in order for perhaps healing to continue individually before you can find your way back to each other. And I really feel when it comes to the masculine, they're willing to wait. They're willing to bide their time until they feel it is the right time for them to reach out and find their way back to the feminine. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave this one, Aries. I do hope whatever part of this makes sense for you, helps you at this time. And if you're interested in your own reading, that information is down below in the description box. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time.